Well, hey everybody, it's HeapCVA. Thank you so much for coming by my channel. Welcome, welcome. Here we are in 911 Operator again. I'm coming back to this right now because a change has been made in the game and some other good news, and it's the kind of information you just need to share. So let's get right into it. Before I fire up a game, first of all, I was going to start a video to pick up where we left off in the career. My goal was to get to the next map. We were at pretty high numbers. I thought maybe we had enough points to move on. I went to start the career mode tonight, and that saved game is gone. And originally, I kind of vapor locked a little bit and got a little angry. So I went to their forum and I went, wow, they made a change and they've shipped a download or a DLC out, and they mentioned some different things, and I thought, well, I need to check this out before I go crazy. So sure enough, I look and they've created a new DLC. They're offering it for free, and it does change the way the game plays, and it directly affects the career mode. And while I don't know for sure, I'm thinking that that's where my saved game went, is bye-bye. Which is okay, because when we get into this, it'll make more sense. But they posted a note on the community and on the store page, and basically they announced the first response DLC, that it's ready and it's available for download for free. How often do you hear a game maker say those words in the same sentence or in the same century? Well, of course, I had to jump all over that. And the only thing that was required is you had to already have the game. So, of course, I did. I made sure it was installed. And then I fired it up without videoing because I wanted to see what it was going to look like. So what it did is challenge you to answer new calls on your own map and in career mode. And this is based wholly off of feedback and suggestions that the community sent to them, and they get a lot of very good comments and stuff. And they actually took it to heart, paid attention, and tried to implement some of them in the game. And it's actually, they made a couple of changes to the game to kind of appease the community. That's not always the case, and it's not rare, but it's not as often as it probably should be. So anyway, what they said is to satisfy the most popular request and ensure that the game is less repetitive, we prepared a new career mode called Unique Stories that'll make sure that for a couple hours of gameplay, you won't hear the same story twice. More realistic daily routine mode is still available, where the most popular call types can repeat. Now, there's a little bit more on here, excuse me, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I paraphrased it. And so I think even though what we were playing already would have been the daily routine mode, that the save didn't make it through this whole thing, which is okay. I played with it a little bit before I started my recording. I think if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to like it. So what I'm going to do is I got to hit this. Notice the first thing that pops up is something we didn't see 5 days ago, for crying out loud. And that is this opportunity to select either unique stories, which is what they talked about, or daily routines. Again, they talked about it. They recommend this for the first playthrough. So if you're new to the game, and this is more realistic, but it requires more reputation points, takes longer to go from one map to another, and there's going to be more repetitive call volume. This one, they go out of their way to not do that, and you need to just maintain a positive reputation through all duties in each city. So you must have to hit certain calls. It's the only thing I can think of. It's going to take a couple of times to play it through, but it's a chance to, if you're feeling kind of grindy about how long it's taking to move from map A to map B, Unique Stories seems like an easy way to do that. So I'm going to choose it because it's new to us. I'm going to reset it so that if there was anything saved, which there was, it's gone. So now we're going to start new in Kapolei again. I'm sorry, but we got to get to that point. Some of this is going to look very familiar to you, and then there's going to be some things that aren't as familiar. This is pretty much set up the way that we usually do it. They start you off with $10,000. You have, I think, the usual rigs that we've seen. The police officers all have equipment. None of the other units do. Normally, I would say put something on the ambulances. My experience so far with this mode is because the fire apparatus has very low staffing, that they need equipment sooner because you may not have the money to hire new personnel. As we scroll through this, you're going to notice there's some new equipment in here. This unit right here was not there before. It's called a defibrillator if you've never seen the word before. Paramedics use it to restart a heart that's in a certain kind of non-viable rhythm. That's a lot of big medical words, isn't it? You see it on TV all the time. You see, these are normal. They added fire extinguisher and firefighter mask, the air pack, HeapCVA, self-contained breathing apparatus. Depends on what country you're in, what you call this, but that's cool. That's brand new. And then down here is this thing called the chest compression system. Brand new. Looks like you could put it on just about any rig. What it does is when you're low on staffing, this does chest compressions for CPR instead of having to have another person if you were short on personnel. Which, and it looks like in a couple of instances we could. If the ambulance is the only thing that shows up on scene and it's a CPR call, one guy's got to drive the ambulance while the other guy's trying to do two things at the same time in the back of the ambulance. So, made total sense to me. But my thought process is, and I could be wrong or right, is I'm going to outfit the firefighters because making sure they don't get hurt. The police officers have weapons. One other thing I noticed is you can actually move these now. Maybe I never tried it before. I don't know, but I got to $0. Let's deploy. Don't want to goof around with this too much. Zoom out, fire it up. So this looks fairly familiar. It's what we do most of the time. Notice that new incident came up. It's an electrical hazard. Go ahead and ship somebody over there. I notice in this game mode, you get a lot of your incidents off of that system versus getting the 911 call. I don't care either way. It's just that it seems to be more used in this version of the game than it is in the other version of the game. So we'll just have to see how this goes. I'm kind of curious what repetition there's going to be from the other rounds of this I played. I don't know if that made any sense or not. Drug use needs law enforcement and...
Right away. Understood. 911, what's your emergency?
And get the...
Hello? I need help.
Oh.
It's burning.
Ma'am, where are you?
So this is kind of repetitive. Don't worry about it though. It's just me. Don't.
It's burning. Send in the fire brigade immediately, please.
Okay, ma'am, I need you to calm down. What is burning?
My car! There's a smoke coming from under the hood.
It's a smoke, not there's smoke.
What I want you to do is get away from your car right away. Do it as safely as you can, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm sending the fire department.
Well, I'm waiting.
That kind of attitude, you're going to wait a lot longer. Anyway, we'll deal with that. I think there is a progression to this version of your career. The unique stories, where it's like it's going to take every incident and put it in a hat, and you get to draw. The computer will draw each one. So you may hear the same incidents twice, but not in this particular round. And
Waiting for instructions. Heading over there. Ready for the
we'll
next
just have to wait and see how that works out.
What are the orders? Heading over there.
I bet you I need to send him over there. I'm going to send a police officer over here now. I have played this 2 times. There was minor repetition, but mostly it was speeders and stuff like that. There are some new call types. That's for sure. And notice that went right to police once I moved the police car over there.
Hello, I would like to order.
Okay, here's the pizza one again.
Cheese, please.
So I think it's just going through these as it draws them.
Excuse me? You've reached 911.
Yes, I know. Oh, and 2 cans of soda.
Ma'am, do you have an emergency?
Yes, I do.
And you can't talk about it because of someone in the room?
Yes, exactly.
Do you also need medical attention? Is somebody hurt?
Yes, do you know how long it will be?
I have an officer about a mile away.
I'm going to send him right now.
Yes, please.
Can you stay on the line with me?
No, thanks.
That's a good question, though. Excellent question.
All right, the officers are coming.
Yeah, I got him dispatched, so everybody will get there ASAP. Get that done. And we have this incident here
What are the orders?
that popped up on me for an accident by a drunk driver. That is actually a new iteration of a incident that we get quite often via 911.
Requesting support.
Who? Where? Seriously? For what? Now notice there's something different. See the guns? Do you saw them enlarge? That's new. And so I think that indicates that the weapon's being fired. I noticed all of a sudden it stopped. So my thought process is that the shooting was done at that point. So you didn't need to, because they're always calling for backup, is you were at a point where you could say, okay, stop. Where's he going? Sometimes you inadvertently click the wrong one, and I'm good at it. So, not too bad. I'm not feeling very busy. I think we may be on easy mode. I didn't check that.
911, what's your emergency?
Help! I can't breathe.
Boy.
I'm trapped in the car.
What's the address you're calling from?
Okay, we got to wait for the address from, I call it ANI. It could be ANL. Yeah, sometimes numbers and things. We got to wait for it. He didn't get a chance to give us a call, the address, but doesn't sound like that feels very good having a car on top of you. All right, so we get fire engine, paramedics, Fortunately, they're close by, which is going to be good. I don't think I've ever hit the send all button yet. There's another incident there. I'll wait until something happens here. Yeah, they do need fire, so how's this going? Okay, he's available. That was great timing there. And, you know, I think this is more about kind of getting the shortcut to the next map. And we'll just have to see how it plays as opposed to the version that we're so used to seeing.
911, what's your emergency? Hello? Is anyone there?
Okay. Got a quiet 911. Sounds like footsteps, so I'm not going to worry about it too much.
If you can't talk, please press any digit on your phone, okay?
Yeah, you'll press the hang up button. So now we get to poke him in the chest just a little bit.
Hello, sir. We got a 911 call from your phone. Do you have an emergency?
Excuse me, it's my phone. I accidentally called 911.
Sir, are you having an emergency?
That part of it, I just don't know why they asked that question.
Please lock
but,
your phone
you know,
and make sure
the
you
next
call
part of it is
911 by
legit.
accident again, okay? That way you won't take up an emergency line for more important calls.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Well, that worked. Well, we can ignore him. So, okay, that's an epileptic attack. I've seen that before. Is that new compared to 5 days ago? I can't tell you. So, we're about 3/4 of the way through. We have an incident here.
Waiting for orders. Understood.
And a police officer stopped as well. So we have a fire and an injury.
I copy. Going there.
So I want to keep the rest of the police officers from going to that incident,
On my way.
or they won't be available. That's not good. But it's being resolved. The fire...
Got injured. Going to we're done here.
Okay, that's good. So this is one of the reasons I dress the firefighters out, so they don't get injured. Means there's only 2 of them on the fire apparatus. Well, there's water on it, and they're counting it down, but it's like 150 some odd seconds. So they're going to be there for a while. Now I can send the other engine over, being they're done with their incident. And, you know, the more, remember that change was made, we're adding more of the correct companies to a given incident, made the thing go away faster.
We're done here. Reporting.
What are the orders?
All right, we'll send that ambulance there, being they didn't have to go to the hospital. Somebody's getting a... I think that's a tick. No, somebody's getting hooked up. Nope, or a ticket, I can't tell. All right, heart attack. That's legitimate. So whatever else we cleared, so we're looking good. We're out of the regular time, so we're just waiting for
Reporting.
somebody to show up on this incident. I wonder if the police car can... No, it's the wrong vehicle.
Reporting. Heading over there.
The soccer mom van is not the fastest rig we have. And I apologize if you get mad at me for calling it that. It's just what it reminds me of. And both my kids played soccer, and we had a van. So, all right. How'd we do on points? We got a timeout for the heart attack. So you can run out of time before you complete your incidents. This is different. It used to be it didn't end till you finished the last call. And we got 2 people injured, of course. So that's new. So we did have pretty good So we lost 2 officers. What do we got for staff? We do have another police officer, which is good. And I have enough to get 1 additional staff. So we can keep these set up. Get them. Whoa. Where'd all the... Oh, I must have got the weapons from the guys before. I want to vest at least 1 of them up on each rig. And when those other guys become or get out of the hospital, then I'll have a place to put them, is on the van. And let's put the first aid kit on the ambulances. Just going to make them move faster. I still have 10,000. It would be helpful. And I have the guys. Okay. And him. That's the first time I've been able to just drag him and fill that in. You learn something new every day. All right, now they're just going to get their clothing, and we'll call it. Let's get them deployed. Get them back out on the street. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. That's new. I actually finished my calls before I ran out of time before I did this video. So now I know if you don't get everything taken care of, you'll run out of time and you'll lose those points. That's new to this version. Maybe that's how they kind of balance that whole other thing. Was seems like you get moved on sooner based on points. I wonder if that'll cost us moving to the next map. It is weird that it takes a few minutes to get. I mean, we're at 7. It's counting down though. Why would it count down?
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? I hear a lot of noise coming from the apartment next door. It's keeping my kids up. They can't get to sleep. Can you do something about it?
What's the address you're calling from?
My house is at... I'm in Unit 6.
Do you know what's happening at your neighbor's place?
Some kind of a party, I guess. I hear a lot of voices and loud music.
Do you feel threatened in any way?
No, but the noise is driving me crazy. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if they listened to decent music.
I'll send a couple of officers over to calm your neighbors down.
Thank you. I'll be waiting at my place. Bye.
And that's a call I've seen before, but it just depends on... Sometimes there's a little extra deal to it that you don't actually figure out right away. And so, you know, making sure you send somebody is a good idea. So I'm going to send the van. And I positioned another officer relatively close. Keep your fingers crossed that... Because there's, a few people here. Hopefully they all behave and... they are students. Somebody's getting a tickie.
Shots fired. Requesting backup.
Well,
I'm listening.
even...
Injured, going to hospital.
See, now you see their weapons being discharged.
I'm listening right away.
But it stopped being... Looks like there was just one guy that decided that that was a good idea to shoot at the police department. And it ended the way it usually does. So, new incident. I've got a rig going there. That's good. It bums me about the reputation, though. I'm worried we're not going to get enough reputation to make the jump to the next one.
Case resolved.
There should be more than enough people now. You don't see the guns doing their thing.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? My stomach hurts really
Oh,
bad.
yes, it does. Stay away from those
So how long have you had this
mushrooms.
stomach pain?
About an hour ago, it started suddenly.
All right, does anything else hurt?
No, I can't feel anything except the pain in my belly.
Have you eaten anything unusual lately, sir?
Well, maybe it's because of those mushrooms.
What's your address, sir? Sir, there's a possibility that you may have eaten poisonous mushrooms. I'm going to send the ambulance immediately.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Freak the guy out.
Please,
Wah!
get the ambulance here fast.
Right away.
You don't get a note that says somebody croaked, so that was a sharp tool injury. Get the fire engine going up there so they're a little bit closer. If you look at that, when they get there, it should be see the green cross. That means that they're at least being attended to. They may not have any equipment, but at least they get attended. And then when the ambulance shows up, then it's counting down. Boom. Well, that one was taken care of relatively fast.
Reporting. Heading over there. We're
Get
ready.
the ambulance back down to town. This is the tummy ache. We need to have a few more incidents here. Gun raid. Oh my.
I'm listening. Heading over
I
there.
might as well just send all of them now. Because you know and I know. Alright, it's 3-0. Well, they already got bracelets on them. That actually ended.
Shots fired. Requesting
See,
backup.
there it is. Somebody. See, you can see the weapons being fired.
What are the orders? 10-4.
That's new.
911, what's your emergency?
Good evening. I have a problem with my daughter. She's screaming.
Okay.
Fainting, completely out of control.
Is your daughter hurt?
No.
All right, ma'am, what's happening?
I just can't calm her down. She's pulling my hair. She's almost my height.
How old is your daughter?
14.
Where are you calling from?
They're always miles away.
All right, ma'am, I'll send an officer by.
Once you hear the screaming in the background, to me, it's one of those things where an officer needs to go in and help resolve that issue. What is this? Vandals. Well, they can wait.
Shots fired.
I notice there's a
Requesting backup.
wait here now. You know what? We've sent you everything you need.
What are the orders? Heading over there.
There is nothing else happening here.
On my way to hospital.
So we'll get the next patient off site. And then let's see if I can get one police car out of this.
Reporting.
I just need this one.
Right away.
So I did get them, which is good. So I can get this one call taken care of.
Got injured. Going to the hospital.
Alright.
I'm
We'll pop him real quick.
right away.
And
What are the
then
orders?
we'll go here with
Going
him.
there.
Case resolved.
Actually, we'll send him there because he's closer.
What are the orders?
Send him
Heading
there.
over there.
Alright. I like it when that happens. That doesn't always go that way. And I always try to send the closest, but sometimes I forget. So we are moving through this pretty fast, which is good. And get a 911
what's
call.
your emergency?
Hi, there is a strange car parked
Oh
here.
boy.
Could you check it?
So what is it about this parked car that has you concerned?
Private cars are not allowed to park here.
Why is that,
I like
sir?
the way he
It's
says
for
that.
safety reasons. Maybe I'm overreacting, but could you send the police to check it?
Can you give me the address of where this car is parked, sir? Yes, of course. I'll send the police to check the car.
Thank you. Bye.
See, and I just clicked wait. So we'll wait and see if it's needed,
What are the orders? Heading over
and
there.
then we'll deal with it. So he's not complaining. He arrested 2. He should have enough room in his car for that. Are we counting down? 20, 32. So it is being closed. How we doing here? One arrestee is counting down and one patient.
Injured on board.
All right, that's good. So we got EMS up here.
Orders right away.
Waiting for heading over there.
Case resolved. We're under fire. Need backup. Need backup.
Of course you're under fire. Really? Who's shooting at you? None of these are... It just makes it look foolish.
Right away.
Waiting for instructions. Ready for the next.
I copy. Going there.
So
Reporting.
go ahead and send something there. Got EMS going there. Like I said, now that this person's injured, I can't imagine that they're doing any shooting of anybody. But it's the game, and I got to keep reminding myself, it's a game. It's a game. Okay, going there. They're on their way.
911.
Let's take the 911 call.
Yeah, hello. There is a fight out in the street. Can you please send the police quickly?
How many of them are there?
There are 2 of them.
Just 2?
Did you see if they had any weapons?
No, I didn't see any.
Can you give me a precise address of the incident?
Yes, of course. It's at...
Is anybody injured?
I don't think so. They've just started and they're mostly shouting and pushing each other.
I'm sending emergency services right now.
Thank you.
I
Bye.
just don't ask people to get involved. That just never ends well. Okay. Love when the fire apparatus actually goes backwards, supposed to go.
Going there.
So we'll pick up this, which is a childbirth, an incident we've seen before. The ambulance is coming here. Why they didn't get credit for the cross? Because the police department can do that as well.
Injured.
We're under fire. Need backup. Need backup.
No. There's 4 of you, and there's 1 of him. And they hurt another police officer. Urgh. Come on. Let's go.
Right away.
I don't want to lose that little bit of time. We got 33 out of that. It's not as high as I wanted to go.
Case resolved.
Waiting for orders.
Where's another police car?
Waiting for orders. Heading over there.
Well, they... Okay. They're going to want an ambulance.
What are the orders? Reporting. Right away. Waiting for orders. Understood. I'm listening. Understood.
To get this done. We're going to run out of time. I have a feeling we're going to run out of time. So we got 4 police officers now. Get the ambulance on scene. Get him on the way to the hospital. Come on.
Injured on board.
There you go. It's called a scoop and run. You got plenty of police cars there. I'll send another one if I need to. And again, we hurt another police officer.
Shots fired. Requesting backup.
Who's shooting at you, for crying out loud? The hurt person is shooting at you? Really? That's, I guess it's not supposed to be that realistic. But, irregardless, notice the sign that's here that says we've been promoted to the next city. You can see in the background here, looks like most everything was resolved. We're at 35,000. And if I click OK and you hit continue, this is the first time we've been able to move on to San Francisco, which is cool. But we're not going to do that in this video because we're already at 30 minutes. So thank you again so much for coming by. I appreciate it so much. Leave me your comments, your questions regarding this particular game and this new deal that just came out with the DLC. If you have the game and you got it, tell me what you think about it. If you were thinking about it and you wanted to know if it was worth it, I think it helps. Yes, there are some issues that kind of drive me crazy, like they go see somebody that bumped their head. Next thing you know, they're under fire and that they're being shot by, you know, a whole army of people. But we'll work those little bugs out over time. So if you can't think of anything to put in the comments, at least a thumbs up or a thumbs down to let me know what I'm doing. Thumbs up is a good job, or thumbs down means that I did a terrible job and I need to redo it. You know. And of course, as usual, hopefully you're having a good day or good evening wherever you are on the planet. Hopefully everything is going or went the way that you wanted it to today or this evening. You know and I know we'll see each other in the next video. So you guys just have a great one and take care.